Have you ever ordered a gin and tonic, taken one sip, and thought, why does this taste like Christmas tree bathwater? Americans buy millions of bottles of gin every year, but only a few are actually worth pouring twice. Today, we're ranking 15 famous gin brands from worst to best. Not by how fancy the bottle looks, but by what really matters. Flavor, balance, mixability, and whether you'd proudly order it at a bar instead of whispering it to the bartender. Grab your tonic, squeeze your lime, and prepare for a countdown that might start a small war in the comments. 15. Seagram's Extra Dry Gin. Seagram's starts our list at the bottom, not because it's the villain of the gin world, but because it's the gin equivalent of a group project student who brings nothing but enthusiasm. This bottle lives in plastic handles, bottom shelves, and college parties where mixers hide all sins. Its legacy is impressive, sure, but flavor-wise, Seagram's tastes like juniper and rubbing alcohol had a messy breakup and tried to stay friends. In a G&T, the tonic carries the real weight. In a martini, it turns the drink into a dare. The people who buy Seagram's aren't looking for nuance. They're looking for volume and a price tag that doesn't judge them. It's not offensively bad, just painfully basic. For a category built on botanical personality, Seagram's brings the least to the table, so it earns the 15th spot. 14. Gordon's London Dry Gin. Gordon's lands at number 14 as a historic giant that's starting to feel like a relic of another era. For decades, it was the go-to budget gin in bars across America. Sharp, loud, juniper forward, and always ready to be drowned in tonic. But side by side with modern options, Gordon's tastes flat, hot, and a little too aggressive, like it's yelling its botanicals at you instead of introducing them politely. Its heritage is undeniable, and older gin drinkers will defend it with pride. But the flavor profile leans harsh and one note, which makes it tough to enjoy neat or in a subtler cocktail like a martini. It does its job, but doesn't evolve, adapt, or surprise. Gordon's earns this spot because nostalgia alone can't compete with gins that actually taste refined. 13. New Amsterdam. Gin New Amsterdam sits comfortably at number 13 as the training wheels gin, the bottle you buy before you truly understand what gin is supposed to taste like. This is the gin for vodka drinkers who want something citrusy, smooth, and mild enough not to scare them away. It's approachable, friendly, and lightly sweet, almost like someone whispered juniper over a glass of lemonade. In cocktails, it's flexible and easy to hide. In a martini, though, it feels like it's trying too hard to behave. If you're mixing big fruity punches or simple G&Ts, New Amsterdam performs well enough, especially for the price. But compared to the world of complex aromatic gins, it feels thin and oversimplified. It's a great first step into the category, just not the bottle you'll stay loyal to once you level up. 12. Aviation American Gin. Aviation comes in at number 12 as the celebrity-backed gin that became more famous for its personality than its palate. The branding is sharp, the bottle is gorgeous, and the marketing is hilarious. But underneath all that charm is a gin designed to offend absolutely no one. It's soft, floral, and intentionally muted, almost like it was built for people who want to say they drink gin without actually tasting it. In cocktails, Aviation behaves predictably. In a G&T, it's pleasant. In a martini, it can feel shy and overly polite. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not memorable. The hype surrounding it is louder than the flavor inside the glass, which is why true gin lovers often skip it for something with more backbone. Aviation is fun, marketable, and smooth, but in a tasting lineup, it struggles to stand out. 11. Highclere Castle Gin. Highclere Castle Gin takes number 11 as the aristocrat of the list. Elegant, refined, and wrapped in a backstory so polished it practically curtsies on arrival. Distilled with botanicals grown on historic English estates, it's designed to feel premium from the first pour, and to its credit, it's good, clean, classic, and beautifully balanced. But here's the catch. At its price, good isn't always enough. The flavor leans safe instead of spectacular, like a gin trying to stay proper rather than taking risks. It shines in martinis, works well in G&Ts, and makes a gorgeous gift, but it lacks the spark or edge of the top-tier contenders. It's a classy, enjoyable gin with heritage appeal, but when ranking strictly by taste and excitement, Highclere lands comfortably in the lower middle tier. If you're already arguing with this list, hit like and subscribe. Seriously, I can feel the martini purists getting upset. Support the channel so we can dive into even more rankings, reviews, and bottles you'll probably yell at me about later. Now, on to the next gin. 10. Empress 1908 Indigo Gin. Empress kicks off this section at number 10 with the confidence of a gin that knows it's pretty. This bottle didn't become famous because of complex botanicals or centuries of heritage. It blew up because it turns cocktails purple, then pink, then lavender like it's auditioning for a magic show. Butterfly pea blossom is the star here, and the internet absolutely ran with it. But take away the color-changing theatrics, and Empress is still a respectable gin. It's citrusy, slightly floral, and smooth enough to make a G&T feel special without overwhelming it. The tea botanicals add a soft earthiness that gives it more personality than people expect from a viral spirit. Still, for all its charm, Empress is more spectacle than substance. It's fun, stylish, and a guaranteed crowd pleaser at parties, but it doesn't deliver the deep, layered flavor of the gins higher on this list. Great for Instagram, just not a top 5 contender. 9. Roku Japanese Gin. Roku lands at number 9 as the delicate craftsman of the lineup. A gin that tastes like someone bottled a spring breeze and added juniper for structure, handmade by the House of Suntory. Roku blends Japanese botanicals like yuzu, green tea, sakura petals, and pepper to create a profile that's soft, aromatic, and refreshingly balanced in a gin and tonic. Roku shines. The citrus is lively, the floral notes are gentle, and the overall vibe is clean and calming. It's the kind of gin that pairs beautifully with light mixers and subtle cocktails, especially drinks where you want flavor complexity without the punch of traditional London Dry. But Roku's greatest strength is also its weakness. For gin lovers who crave bold juniper or sharp botanicals, Roku can feel too polite, almost too zen for its own good. It's elegant, refined, and genuinely delightful, but not always the loudest voice in the room. A beautiful gin, just not the most commanding. 8. Beefeater London Dry Gin. Beefeater takes the 8th spot by being the no-nonsense workhorse that refuses to go out of style. In a world full of fancy infusions and botanical experiments, Beefeater stays true to classic London Dry rules. Juniper forward, citrus bright, crisp, assertive, and unapologetically gin bartenders rely on it for a reason. It performs every single time. In cocktails, Beefeater is the backbone. Negronis taste balanced, martinis taste clean, G&Ts taste exactly the way a G&T should. It's a bottle that doesn't need tricks or trends. It has one mission: taste like gin, reliably in any scenario. Its consistency is part of its charm, but also why it doesn't rank higher. Beefeater is excellent at being classic, but it doesn't push boundaries or deliver a signature twist like the top-tier contenders. Still, if you want a gin that never disappoints and always behaves in cocktails, Beefeater is that dependable friend. 7. Bombay Sapphire. Bombay Sapphire slides into number 7 with its instantly recognizable blue bottle and reputation as the gateway gin that made botanicals cool again. When it launched, Sapphire didn't try to be the loudest London Dry. It aimed for silky smoothness, and it nailed that lane perfectly. The 10 botanical blend gives you a floral, almost velvety character that feels lighter and more modern than the old-school gins in a G&T. It's crisp and aromatic. In a martini, it leans gentle and refined. For a lot of people, Sapphire is the first gin that made them say, "Okay, maybe I can drink gin after all." But its smoothness is also why it stops here. Compared to the bold flavors of Tanqueray or the craftsmanship of Sipsmith, Sapphire can feel a little too subtle. It's approachable, extremely versatile, and widely loved, but not quite distinctive enough to climb into the top 5 still. For newcomers or anyone who likes their gin silky instead of sharp, Sapphire is a classic for a reason. 6. Tanqueray London. Dry gin Tanqueray lands at number 6 like a heavyweight boxer in a room full of dancers. Loud, confident, and unapologetically juniper-packed. This is the gin for people who want a martini that punches back. Its simple 4-botanical recipe proves you don't need a long ingredient list to make something iconic. From the first sip, Tanqueray hits with bold juniper, earthy roots, and a crisp dryness that cuts straight through mixers. In a G&T, it's bright and snappy. In a martini, it's all business. It's the gin you order when you actually want your drink to taste like gin, rather than a botanical perfume. Tanqueray's power is its charm, but also the reason some drinkers stay away. It doesn't play nice with everyone. It dominates the glass. But for purists who crave classic London Dry intensity, there's nothing more satisfying. It stops just short of the top 5, because while iconic, it lacks the nuance and layered complexity of the gins still waiting on this list. But make no mistake, Tanqueray is a legend in its own lane. 5. Sipsmith London Dry Gin. Sipsmith opens our top 5 by proving that classic doesn't have to mean boring. This is the gin that helped kickstart the modern craft gin movement, and you can taste that pride in every sip. Sipsmith sticks to a traditional London Dry blueprint. Bold juniper, bright citrus, structured spice. But every note hits with a level of clarity that cheaper gins can only dream of. It's like someone took the old school recipe, polished it, and tightened every bolt until it gleamed. In a martini, Sipsmith feels clean, crisp, and confident. In a Negroni, it holds its ground instead of disappearing into the Campari. And in a simple G&T, it tastes like the textbook version of what gin should be. Classic, assertive, and beautifully balanced. There's no flashy gimmick or celebrity hype. It thrives purely on craftsmanship and flavor. Sipsmith ranks at number 5 because it hits the sweet spot between tradition and refinement. A proper gin with real personality. 4. The Botanist Islay Dry Gin. The Botanist takes the number 4 spot by delivering one of the most complex aromatic profiles in the entire gin world. It comes from Islay, a Scottish island famous for peat-heavy whiskey. But instead of smoke and fire, this gin goes all in on botanicals. 22 of them, to be exact, each foraged from the island's wild landscape. The result is a gin that tastes like someone distilled an herb garden after a rainstorm. It's floral, earthy, and layered with subtle flavors that evolve as you sip. Chamomile, mint, heather, and soft juniper weaving in and out like a slow, elegant dance. In cocktails, the Botanist transforms everything it touches. A martini becomes a botanical showcase. A G&T becomes a sensory experience. Even simple drinks taste expensive. The only reason it doesn't crack the top 3 is that its complexity can overwhelm gin newcomers. But for people who love depth and character, the Botanist is nothing short of brilliant. 3. Plymouth Gin. Plymouth lands at number 3 by being one of the most quietly legendary gins ever made. It doesn't shout for attention. It earns respect through history, smoothness, and a flavor profile that feels almost tailor-made for classic cocktails. Its style is softer and rounder than London Dry, with a slightly sweeter, earthier backbone that gives it a comforting richness without losing structure. In martinis, Plymouth is magical. It delivers depth without aggression, making it a favorite among bartenders who take cocktail history seriously. In a Negroni, it offers warmth that softens the bitter edges. In a G&T, it drinks incredibly smooth, with the citrus botanicals coming forward elegantly. What makes Plymouth special is that it simply works everywhere. There's no scenario where it struggles, no cocktail where it feels out of place. Consistent, versatile, and historically essential, Plymouth earns its bronze medal by being one of the most dependable premium gins on the planet. 2. Monkey 47 Schwarzwald Dry Gin. Monkey 47 storms into second place with the intensity of a botanical superhero. Made in Germany's Black Forest and infused with, you guessed it, 47 botanicals, this gin tastes like a flavor explosion wrapped in elegance. It's complex, aromatic, and unforgettable. One sip and your palate lights up with juniper, citrus peel, berries, herbs, flowers, spices, and forest notes that shift and twist with every second. Monkey 47 doesn't try to be subtle. It isn't trying to be your everyday G&T companion. It's here to flex, especially in cocktails like martinis and Negronis, where it turns the dial to 11 and demands full attention. Even neat, it drinks like a botanical liqueur with gin structure. Its only drawback is the price and the small bottle, which make it a luxury rather than a staple. But in terms of sheer craftsmanship and intensity, almost nothing matches it. Monkey 47 sits at number 2 because it's a masterpiece, just not an everyday one. Hendrick's Gin. Taking the crown at number 1 is Hendrick's, the gin that changed the entire perception of the category for millions of drinkers. When it launched, the idea of adding cucumber and rose to gin sounded like madness. But that unusual combination created a flavor profile so clean, soft, and inviting that even people who hated gin suddenly became believers. Hendrick's walks a fascinating tightrope. It's floral without being perfumey, crisp without being harsh, and flavorful without overwhelming the palate. In a martini, it brings elegance. In a G&T, it's refreshing and unmistakably itself. Add cucumber slices and the whole drink becomes an experience. Its versatility is unmatched. New drinkers love it because it's gentle. Gin fans love it because it's unique. Bartenders love it because it sells and mixes beautifully. And the bottle, dark, vintage, apothecary style, seals the premium aura. Hendrick's is number 1 because it delivers everything modern gin drinkers want: character, balance, charm, and universal appeal. And that's our full lineup. 15 gins, 1 very opinionated ranking. Whether you agree, disagree, or already typed an angry comment about your favorite martini gin, thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe, and tell me which bottle deserves a deep dive next. Cheers to better gin and even better arguments.